Hello, I'm Sarah DeLoss, and welcome to another edition of Students First, the Rochester City School District's premier news program. Each week, we bring you vital news about Rochester schools, important dates for parents, as well as special features that bring you into real Rochester classrooms. In this week's featured story, students at Rochester's Monroe High School and East High School received some insight about how to achieve success in their future from motivational speaker Albert Mehnza. Mehnza was brought to the two buildings courtesy of ASAR, the Association of Supervisors and Administrators of Rochester. Students First was at Monroe to capture a bit of his inspiring words for students. Here's a look.
It's not where you come from, guys. It's not what you don't have or what you have. It's what you do and what you have, because you have clean water in America, in your houses, in your schools. When I walked in here today, the first thing I said was, this is a high school? We don't even have this in our universities in Ghana. You have everything. So if you fail, this is like what I said to the man. I say, if you go to the school, you go to the school and you fail, you have no one to blame but yourself, because you have chairs, cushion. Is it cushion? Is it soft? I sat on the floor in the dirt in my class. We will go to school and we will sit. We will kneel down when we arrive in school, because the school we had was just from, maybe the school was like this whole stage. We built the school ourselves with red dirt we call clay. We had two dividers in the school, so we had three classes: first and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth. We had no chairs, we had no tables, we had no pencils, we had no pens, we had no books. We had slate. You know what a slate is, right? Chalkboard, little chalkboard. And the government of Ghana issued every parent a box of white chalk. So every morning my dad would open the box up, take one long chalk out and break it, 6 different pieces. You have your little piece of chalk, you have your slate, you're ready for battle. Breakfast? We couldn't even spare breakfast. We had one meal a day, and that was supper. 6 children sat on the floor. They put the bowl in the middle. You sat around the way we were born, firstborn to the 6th child. You took your spoon out, S-P-O-O-N, spoon. We ate with our hands. You go down, firstborn take, secondborn take, thirdborn take, fifth, fourth, fifth, repeat the same process. I had 2 older brothers and sisters. They had bigger hands. So when they went down, they really went where? Down. So sometimes all you have were 2 dips to this meal. Hey, you ate all the food, Mom? You ate all the food. I ate all the food. Well, how come you didn't take when it was your turn? Because he was telling me a story. This is what my older brother would do. He would start to tell you a nice story. And you're young, right? And you go, really? And when it's your turn, you take your turn. Yeah, and I'm telling you, the car was driving like, wow, you know. So, hey, Mom, you ate all the food. Well, there's no more food. So to complete your supper, we went into the bushes. And whatever we found in the bushes was what we have completed our supper with. Coconuts, mangoes, guavas, bananas, peanut. Whatever we found in the bushes was what we had for breakfast to complete our supper. So for breakfast, that's what we had. On our way to school, we grabbed those things. And when we arrived in school, we would kneel down in the class and raise your arms till you finally can touch somebody's shoulder. That means you stay away from me. That's how far you do. Put your hands down. The teacher, we had 1 teacher to 6 classes. We call it classes, you call it grades. So grade 1 and 2 share one class, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, with 1 teacher standing right there with a long cane. And that long cane inflicts bodily injuries. As a matter of fact, all the teachers in this school, I brought the canes with me so you guys can have some. I was just kidding, brother. I was just kidding. So when the teacher said right, then we would sit on the floor. Not on this beautiful American floor, I'm talking dirt. If I do this, dirt will come flying all over the place. But remember the teacher, he's got a long what? Bodily injury thing. So you dare not do that. So you just sit. Your hand, somebody is behind you, somebody's leg is this way, your leg is behind someone. Teacher said, right. You take your slate from your neck, you lay your slate down, you take your little piece of chalk, you start to write. When it rained, and yes, it rains in Ghana, we call it monsoon rain, hard rain. Comes down through the roof because it's just palm branches, and the palm branches just give way. Like, go ahead, brother. And the water just comes down. And the whole place gets muddy. And the first thing that melts is what? Your chalk. And the whole place is mud. You can't sit in the mud, so you stand and kneel on each other. And you could be in the classroom all day doing this. Water coming down, and you still listen to that teacher. You know, I have a son. He's a senior in high school. He said, Dad, if that was in America, they would just send us home. I said, Josh, no. In Ghana, you stand all day in that mud, in that rain, till the building keeps down. That's the only time you're going to go home. And you stand there and listen to that teacher, and we passed. I said we because I have two brothers in Virginia. They're both lawyers. And me, a professional speaker. Three of us in America, doing good. We went to that same school. So it's not where you come from, guys. You got it made. It's a good thing. It's all up to you. Really. I know sometimes this deck is not stacked right. I understand that. I do. I've been there. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stay there. I'm going to make an effort, which is what we did. Because we had a life that we thought there was no way out. Mosquitoes biting us all the time. One meal a day. I'm 48 years old, guys. People think I'm 25. You know why? Because I've been starved to death when I was growing up. And that's why I came to your country, to catch up. Because you have super Walmarts. That's my favorite store. Super Walmart. When I walk into that store, I say, somebody say hallelujah. Because there's food galore in that place. And boy, do I buy it. I'm catching up. I'm on a diet right now. I'm watching my weight grow. So, it's not that bad. But you're saying to yourself, well, how do you go from this village boy to be standing in front of wonderful American kids, high school students, CEOs, administrators, principals, doctors? I've been everywhere. I've been all over, and there's no state union in this country I haven't been 3-4 times over doing this. I've been Australia. This business taking me to Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, London, Denmark, Norway, South Africa. I've been through all over the place. And you know the best part, after I'm done, they give me fat checks with a lot of zeros next to it. It's a good life. So, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm making a point here, guys, that it is possible for all of us to rise up to wherever we are and become whatever we want to become. But there's a formula, and I'm going to give you that formula. But before I get to the formula, let me take you back to how I got to where I am today. When I was 8 years old, my father, he joined the army. In Ghana, where I was born, if you want to escape poverty, because we have about 99% unemployment, you join the military. So most of the boys in Ghana are in some form of military. That's the only way you get a paycheck. We don't have that much jobs, machinery, you know, manufacturing. We don't have that. So my father became one of those boys. So for the first time in our lives, we had to move from the village to the city of Accra. ACCRA is the capital city of Ghana. We lived in the military barracks. For the first time in our lives, we saw automobile. I was 8 years old when I first saw an automobile. You should have seen us. We were like, car, yes, car. Then the next morning, they said we should get in that car. I was like, oh, no, not me. I bring it in that thing. They say, get in. I said, okay. We got it. We're like, and the thing took over. Ooh, it's gonna, where is it going? I said, just be quiet. We arrived in the city. We saw buildings built with cement for the first time in our lives. 8 years old. All my life I've seen buildings built with clay, dirt. You can just kick it and it'll fall apart. You know, our house, here's the funny part of our house. When it rained really hard, sometimes it would break. So let's say our house, for the first 3 months, it was facing this way. The next 3 months, the house was facing that way. Because we build it, right? So we build the entrance this way. Like, I'm tired of looking at those people. Then we build this way. You know? That's a good life, huh? You just build your house anywhere you want. Or if you get really mad, you go kick one side of it. Oh! I said, Mom, we got to build the house again. And go back in the Saturday. We spent all day Saturday at the clay place, getting it wet, and then, you know, just throw it around and the house is built. Now your house is already built. You got mattresses. You got sleep-on mattresses. The first time I slept on a mattress, I was 19 years old and I was in American college. It was so soft. Oh, mattress. They say, you're gonna go to class. I said, really? I don't want to get up. I used to sleep and hold it sideline and just hug it. Because I've been sleeping on the floor all my life. It's not that bad, you guys. You got a good life. You got a good life. Stop taking it so much for granted. Some of us, if sometimes I want to take all you guys to Ghana and leave you there for just 1 day, no, 1 hour, and bring Ghana kids here. And let's see who wants to leave. Who do you think will want to leave? Guess who's going to say, we ain't coming back? Especially if I bring him to your homes and they say, we can sleep on that thing? No mosquitoes? It's a good life, guys. It's a good life. Stop taking it for granted. Rise up. Get up and do something with it. Get up and do something. So, when we were in the military barracks, we went to see a movie. A cinema. For the first time in our life, we went to see a cinema. And in this cinema were American people. Showed up on the screen, they were walking like this. When I wanted to come to America, I said I was practicing that walk. I said, I want to walk like Americans. I said, how do they walk? I said, they walk like they have no worries. As Americans, they just walk like, hey, I'm still going to eat. I'm still going to go home and sleep on a mattress. On the Ghana, we're like, oh man, what's good? You were like, hey. I'm like, I want some of that. So as I'm watching the cinema, everyone in that cinema has on shoes. Now I'm sitting there barefoot. I'm 8 years old, and I'm looking at the thing, and everybody has on shoes. And nice clothes like you guys. And I'm looking going, guys, do you see what I'm seeing here? Everybody got on shoes. This is a good thing. And then they show the family of 4 having supper. This was the second clincher for me in that cinema. First of all, they were having supper. It was only 4 people. A mother, a daddy, a brother, and a sister. 4 people only. They were having supper inside their house. I'm used to eating outside on the veranda. 2, inside the house, they were eating on a table. I'm used to eating on the floor. 3, on this table were about 300 bowls. I'm used to 1 bowl for 6 people. Now for only 4 people, they have 300 bowls. 4, they didn't have the real spoon. You know, that kind of spoon? They have this thing called utensils. And this is what they'll do. They'll take a little bit and then they'll pass. Little bit, pass. We thought they were in the passing business. They kept passing the bowls around and around and around. And we kept saying, would they ever eat? Come on, Americans, eat. Then they passed the bowls around and they finally stopped passing the bowls around. Then they started to eat with their long things. We're like, okay. It wasn't even 10 minutes of eating. It's not where you come from, guys. It's not what you don't have and what you have. It's what you do and what you have, because you have clean water in America, in your houses, in your schools. When I walked in here today, the first thing I said was, this is a high school? We don't even have this in our universities in Ghana. You have everything. So if you fail, this is like what I said to the man. I said, if you go to this school, you go to this school and you fail, you have no one to blame but yourself, because you have chairs, cushion. Is it cushion? Is it soft? I sat on the floor in the dirt in my class. We will go to school and we will sit. First we will kneel down when we arrive in school, because the school we had was just from, maybe the school was like this whole stage. We built this school ourselves with red dirt we call clay. We had 2 dividers in the school, so we had 3 classes. First and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth. We had no chairs. We had no tables. We had no pencils. We had no pens. We had no books. We had slate. You know what a slate is, right? Chalkboard, little chalkboard. And the government of Ghana issued every parent a box of white chalk. So every morning my dad would open the box up, take one long chalk out and break it, 6 different pieces. You have your little piece of chalk, you have your slate, you're ready for battle. Breakfast? We couldn't even spell breakfast. We had 1 meal a day, and that was supper. 6 children sat on the floor. They put a bowl in the middle. You sat around the way we were born, firstborn to the 6th child. You took your spoon out, S-P-O-O-N, spoon. We ate with our hands. You go down, firstborn take, secondborn take, thirdborn take, fifth, fourth, fifth, repeat the same process. I have 2 older brothers and sisters. They had bigger hands. So when they went down, they really went back, down. So sometimes all you have are 2 dips to this meal. Hey, you ate all the food, Mom? You ate all the food. Oh, you ate all the food. Well, how come you didn't take when it was your turn? Because he was telling me a story. This is what my older brother would do. He would start telling you a nice story. And you're young, right? And you go, really? And when it's your turn, you take your turn. Yeah, and I'm telling you, the car was driving like, wow. You know, so like, hey! Mom, you ate all that food. Well, there's no more food. So to complete your supper, we went into the bushes. And whatever we found in the bushes was what we have completed our supper with. Coconuts, mangoes, guavas, bananas, peanut. Whatever we found in the bushes was what we had for breakfast to complete our supper. So for breakfast, that's what we had. On our way to school, we grabbed those things. And when we arrived at school, we would kneel down in the class and raise your arms till you finally can touch somebody's shoulder. That means you stay away from me. That's how far you do. Put your hands down. The teacher, we had 1 teacher to 6 classes. We call it classes, you call it grades. So grade 1 and 2 share 1 class, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, with 1 teacher standing right there with a long cane. And that long cane inflicts bodily injuries. As a matter of fact, all the teachers in this school, I brought the canes with me so you guys can have some. I was just kidding, brother. I was just kidding. So when the teacher said right, then we will sit on the floor. Not on this beautiful American floor, I'm talking dirt. If I do this, dirt will come flying all over the place. But remember the teacher, he's got a long what? Bodily injury thing. So you dare not do that, so you just sit. Your head, somebody is behind you, somebody's leg is this way, your leg is behind someone. Teacher said, right. You take your slate from your neck, you lay your slate down, you take your little piece of chalk, you start to write. When it rained, and yes, it rains in Ghana, we call it monsoon rain, hard rain. Comes down through the roof because it's just palm branches, and the palm branches just give way. Like, go ahead, brother. And the water just comes down. And the whole place gets muddy. And the first thing that melts is what? Your chalk. And the whole place is mud. You can't sit in the mud, so you stand and kneel on each other. And you could be in the classroom all day doing this, water coming down, and you still listen to that teacher. You know, I have a son, he's a senior in high school. He said, Dad, if that was in America, they would just send us home. I said, Josh, no. In Ghana, you stand all day in the mud, in the rain, till the building keeps down. That's the only time you're going to go home. And you stand there and listen to that teacher, and we passed. I said we because I have two brothers in Virginia. They're both lawyers, and me, a professional speaker. Three of us in America, doing good. We went to that same school. So it's not where you come from, guys. You got it made. It's a good thing. It's all up to you. Really. I know sometimes this deck is not stacked right. I understand that. I do. I've been there. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stay there. I'm going to make an effort, which is what we did. Because we had a life that we thought there was no way out. Mosquitoes biting us all the time. One meal a day. I'm 48 years old, guys. People think I'm 25. You know why? Because I've been starved to death when I was growing up. And that's why I came to your country, to catch up. Because you have super Walmarts. That's my favorite store, Super Walmart. When I walk into that store, I say, somebody say hallelujah. Because there's food galore in that place. And boy, do I buy it. I'm catching up. I'm on a diet right now. I'm watching my weight grow. So, it's not that bad. But you have to say to yourself, well, how do you go from this village boy to be standing in front of wonderful American kids, high school students, CEOs, administrators, principals, doctors? I've been everywhere. I've been all over, and there's no state union in this country I haven't been 3-4 times over doing this. I've been Australia. This business taking me to Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, London, Denmark, Norway, South Africa. I've been through all over the place. And you know the best part, after I'm done, they give me fat checks with a lot of zeros next to it. It's a good life. So, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm making a point here, guys, that it is possible for all of us to rise up to wherever we are and become whatever we want to become. But there's a formula, and I'm going to give you that formula. But before I get to the formula, let me take you back to how I got to where I am today. When I was 8 years old, my father, he joined the army. In Ghana, where I was born, if you want to escape poverty, because we have a 99% unemployment, you join the military. So most of the boys in Ghana are in some form of military. That's the only way you get a paycheck. We don't have that much jobs, machinery, manufacturing. We don't have that. So my father became one of those boys. So for the first time in our lives, we had to move from the village to the city of Accra. ACCRA is the capital city of Ghana. We lived in the military barracks. For the first time in our lives, we saw an automobile. I was 8 years old when I first saw an automobile. You should have seen us. We were like, car, yes, car. Then the next morning, they said we should get in that car. I was like, oh no, nothing. I ain't getting nothing. They said, get in. I said, okay. We got it. We're like, and the thing took over. Where is it going? I said, just be quiet. We arrived in the city. We saw buildings built with cement for the first time in our lives. 8 years old. All my life I've seen buildings built with clay, dirt. You can just kick it and it'll fall apart. You know, our house, here's the funny part of our house. When it rained really hard, sometimes it will break. So let's say our house, for the first 3 months, it was facing this way. The next 3 months, the house was facing that way. Because we built it, right? So we build the entrance this way. Like, I'm tired of looking at those people. Then we build this way. You know? That's a good life, huh? You just build your house anywhere you are. Or if you get really mad, you go kick one side of it. Oh! I say, Mom, we got to build a house again. And go back in the Saturday. We spent all day Saturday at the clay place, getting it wet, and then, you know, just throw it around and the house is built. Now your house is already built. You got mattresses. You got sleep-on mattresses? The first time I slept on a mattress, I was 19 years old and I was in American college. It was so soft. Oh, mattress. They say, you gotta go to class. I said, really? I don't want to get up. I used to sleep and hold it sideline and just hug it. Because I've been sleeping on the floor all my life. It's not that bad, you guys. You got a good life. You got a good life. Stop taking it so much for granted. Some of us, if sometimes I want to take all you guys to Ghana and leave you there for just one day, no, 1 hour, and bring Ghana kids here. And let's see who wants to leave. Who do you think will want to leave? Guess who's going to say, we ain't coming back? Especially if I bring him to your homes. And they say, we can sleep on that thing? No mosquitoes? It's a good life, guys. It's a good life. Stop taking it for granted. Rise up. Get up and do something with it. Get up and do something with it. So, when we were in the military barracks, we went to see a movie. A cinema. For the first time in our life, we went to see a cinema. And in this cinema were American people. Showed up on the screen, they were walking like this. When I wanted to come to America, I said I was practicing that walk. I said, I want to walk like Americans. I said, how do they walk? I said, they walk like they have no worries. As Americans, they just walk like, hey, I'm still going to eat. I'm still going to go home and sleep on a mattress. On a gun, we're like, oh man, what's good? You were like, hey. I'm like, I want some of that. So as I'm watching this cinema, everyone in that cinema has on shoes. Now I'm sitting there barefoot. I'm 8 years old, and I'm looking at the thing, and everybody has on shoes. And nice clothes like you guys. And I'm looking going, guys, you see what I'm seeing here? Everybody got on shoes. This is a good thing. And then they show the family of 4 having supper. This was the second clincher for me in that cinema. First of all, they were having supper. It was only 4 people. A mother, a daddy, a brother, and a sister. 4 people only. They were having supper inside their house. I'm used to eating outside on the veranda. 2, inside the house, they were eating on a table. I'm used to eating on the floor. 3, on this table were about 300 bowls. I'm used to 1 bowl for 6 people. Now for only 4 people, they have 300 bowls. 4, they didn't have the real spoon. You know, that kind of spoon? They have this thing called utensils. And this is what they'll do. They'll take a little bit and then they'll pass. Little bit, pass. We thought they were in the passing business. They kept passing the bowls around and around and around. And we kept saying, would they ever eat? Come on, Americans, eat. Then they passed the bowls around and they finally stopped passing the bowls around. Then they started to eat with their long things. We're like, okay. It wasn't even 10 minutes of eating. And the mom got up and started walking to the other side of the room. And on this 4 square thing, she started stripping the food down in this 4 square thing. And she started her plate. Then she went and met the daughter, took the daughter's plate, repeated the same process, took the daddy's. So now we're thinking, there's got to be another family back down there who's getting this food. Because we, up to that time, ladies and gentlemen, have never had supper and had to go to another room and scrape anywhere because first of all, it wasn't even enough. So we're watching the cinema going, this is a good cinema. They have shoes, nice clothes, they eat here, and then they go feed other people. Now where are these people? Come on, show yourself, show yourself. And then she did something that flipped me out. She flipped the same switch that my father flipped on when we first saw electricity. Then we heard this noise. Then we looked at each other and said, she's not feeding anyone, she's wasting the food. And like in slow motion, we were like, hey, we want it, we want it, we want it. And my mom said something that really was not good. She said, sit down. I said, why? She said, it's a cinema, they can't hear you. I said, but Mom, she's wasting the food. Do you see what's going on? He said, son, I know, but have a seat. I think we were crying. Food. That was it, guys. That was it. For me, that was the moment of truth. The light came on. I want some of that for me. I didn't even know the name of the country. I just went home. The next morning, I went to my older brother. I said, can you tell me the name of that movie, cinema? He said, it's called USA. Why do you want to know? I said, because I want to go live there. What do you think he did? He laughed. How many of you in this room, show by hands only, have a dream, a really big dream, and sometimes you share with your own relatives and they tell you you're not good enough? How many have been there before? Okay, thank you. Put your hands down. Look at me carefully. I know I'm good looking, but that's not why. Look at me carefully. The reason why I'm saying to look at me is because I've been where you are. I was where you are. I saw a cinema about a country. Didn't even know exists. Went home, told everyone I want to go live there. And they told me I wasn't good enough. That my father only made $14 to feed 8 people. That he had no money left to take me to that country. That we didn't have enough food to eat. How are you going to get there? I'm here to share with you. Dreams do come true. Dreams do come true. I'm one of them. I went from this mosquito-infested kid to an American university with a full scholarship. 11 years to the day I saw a cinema. It's going to take time. Dreams do come true, but it takes time because you have to work. The problem with people that do not make their dreams come true is they don't want to work. You know, people ask me, Albert, what is the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people? I say only one thing. Successful people, the people that are up here, and the people that are down here, the difference, the people that are down here are not willing to do the work that the people that are up here are willing to do. Period. There's nothing in between. People that are up here, they take risk. People that are down here don't want to take risk. In your case, the people that are down here, they don't want to work. They don't want to pay the price to make that dream come true. So they sit here and they complain and blame it on everybody else. But they forget to look in the mirror and realize that Albert Mehnza from Ghana, standing in front of us today telling us his stories, he did the work. Period. There's no in between. People that are up there take risk. In your case, they work. They're willing to go home and do their homework. They're willing to go home and turn off the TV and really put in the grind and work and work. But no, they come up with excuses like, I only come from one parent house. I go to Monroe High School. We're not supposed to succeed. What's wrong with you? What are you doing trying to succeed? Huh? Don't. And we talk ourselves out of it. And then one day we work at a baggage claim. I have a friend I went to college with, Bubba. Played football, Maryland. He works at the baggage claim at the BWI. Now every time I go through, I intentionally know what airline he works for. Every time I go through USA. I fly American, but I'll go through there just so I can see him. And every time he sees me, he tries to hide. And you know, man, I'm like, hey, what's up, Bubba? Man, I see you. And he's always like, so what's up, Chuck? I'm like, man, I remember I went to college with this guy. We were both freshmen. And he always hooped class. And he always had a big fat split in his lips. Smoking marijuana, smelling the whole dorm out. And we used to always go tell him, don't you know what time it is? It's time to go to class. Oh, I don't need it. Today he works for baggage claim. Guess what? I'm not saying his baggage claim is not a good job. But when I arrive and he comes with that truck to pick up my bags and I give him $1, I laugh when I give it to him. I'm like, what an idiot. You live in this country, Bubba. You were born in this country. And you're packing my bags for $1? Here, take 2. I don't feel sorry for him. He knows. He knows. All of a sudden, now he wants to read my books. Before he fought it, I said, Bubba, you can fight it all you want. Your baggage claim guy. You got that truck. I don't got no truck. The only hard work I do is when I get on that plane. That's the only hard part. I don't want to work that hard. I hate working hard. That hard. Physically hard. Mentally hard, yes. Physically hard. It's up to you, dudes. So now, how did I get to where I am today? There's a formula. Let me give you the formula. In everything in life, be it football, basketball, I play soccer, real football, right? We have rules. And in American football, here's one of the rules that I learned. When the quarterback throws the ball, and after he releases the ball, you can't go there and whack him. That's a penalty, right? Where's the football players? Any football player here? Isn't that a penalty? Yeah, man. Okay. Baseball. Any baseball players in here? All right. When you hit the ball and it looks like it's going to home run, but it goes outside the home run line, isn't that a foul? But you don't run around saying, I got a home run, but it's because it went over. You're like, no, you didn't get a home run. Get it back and sit down. Right? There's rules. And in life, there are rules. And the rules are like this. If you follow the rules, you get to play. True? In football, if you follow, you play. If you break the rules, what do they give you? Sit down. In soccer, we got to call a red card. Red card means what? Go take a shower. Same thing in football and baseball. In life, we got the same cards. Red card. The people that follow the rules, do the homework, come to school and behave themselves, they get to play. The people that don't play, they don't do homework, they don't behave themselves, they come to school and they hide behind signs. Hey, what's up, dude? I'm a crib. So, hey, respect my turf. What turf? That's not your turf. That's the school's building. Oh, that's my turf. You know? And you're going, how long, 10 years from now, when you graduate from this school, not even 10, 5 years from now, when you graduate from this school, and I'm walking around with my children, and you're also coming around, what is the first thing I'm going to say that people say when you see adults? We say, how you doing, John? Good. The next thing we say is, so what do you do? We don't say, how you doing, John? You still making those signs? We wouldn't even remember. We wouldn't. It's not what we want to know. We want to know, what are you doing with your life now? Isn't that what people always ask you? Yes. What do you do? I'm a dad. No, I mean, what do you do for a living, stupid eye? Okay, I'm a speaker now. Oh yeah, I heard about you. I read it about you in the paper. You're not going to say, you still making those signs? What signs? Remember when you were in school, you used to hang around that corner and make those signs? Oh, I did? Yeah, it was like a fool there, remember? Don't do that.